The man didn't expect that he just showed the level of his subordinates casually. He directly put the moment when the enemy was scared to the ground. Because in his cognition, the human level is no more than 100. But the elite subordinates of the male master are all 9999 levels. Even ordinary soldiers have a power of 1500 levels. If the power of such a scale goes back to the ground, the destruction of the world will only take the life of the male master. The werewolves saw and regretted what they had done before. Why would they be so cruel to the male master? It turned out that it was because the male master had awakened the most useless infinite twist skill before. Every time he got something useless, it was either a spoon or a moldy bread. Therefore, he was judged to be the lowest level F-level adventurer. He can only do dirty work, such as picking firewood and digging mold. But he worked hard to get revenge in January. He can't even afford today's rent. But this is not the worst. It is necessary to know that the human race has the lowest status among the 9 major races in this world. It is even worse than the wild dogs on the roadside. So the money he worked hard to earn was directly taken away by the dog headman. He was also beaten into a pit. It was at this time that a figure reached out to the male master. He unconsciously put his hand on the other person's hand and realized that he was covered in mud. The elf lady not only gave him a gentle hug, but also sent him a team invitation. And his teammates are all level 100. Their team is called the Race Gathering. It means that they have gathered all the races. The purpose is to eliminate discrimination between races. Because there is still a human race member missing at the moment, although the monsters here are not dealt by the male master, fortunately, his teammates are all big brothers. He was also taken away directly. He was very lucky to meet such a group of good teammates. But he didn't know that his teammates had another purpose for his kindness. After everyone arrived at the maze, the captain suddenly told the male master to kick him out of the team. It turns out that after this period of time, they have confirmed that the male master's skills are not his own. Earlier, the guild high level heard that the male master's skills can be drawn indefinitely, so he suspected that he was the human race leader in the prophecy, so he ordered the team to test him. But the result was obvious. The male master is a completely useless person. The elf lady also showed her disgust. They said that fortunately, they didn't have to marry the race of the master, but to marry the race of the hunter. They not only decided to kick the male master out of the team in unison, but also received a high-level order to kill him. At first, the male master thought they were kidding, but a beast man directly rushed out to find the chicken. He used action to tell him that this was not a joke. The male master ran away in a hurry. The next second, the elf lady's arrow shot through his legs. The beast man wanted to torture him to death, but was stopped by others. Their purpose was to let the male master die in an accident. It's better not to leave too many wounds. Just when the beast man was about to launch the last strike on him, the male master, who had a strong desire to survive, climbed to the center of the maze. The arrow accidentally triggered the transmission mechanism. The male master was lucky to escape. The memories of the past are etched in his mind. He was also determined to take revenge. He wanted to kill all those people. But after a while, he heard a scream. Looking back, it was a demon with a level of up to 1,000. At this moment, the male master finally realized where he was transmitted to. It is the deepest part of this maze where no one has ever stepped into. But what's the use of knowing all this? He can only wait here to die. Although he can only rely on the useless skill of twisting the bullet, he can only die at this moment. But the male master didn't expect that the golden legend was drawn directly this time. What the male master drew this time was not an object, but a beautiful girl in a woman's costume. He learned from the female servant that the level of the other party was up to 99999. It was the super rare card in his skill. The male master was shocked. He couldn't believe that his skill could hit such a level. He saw the female servant boldly launch the identification spell on the male master. As a result, he found that his skill was added another layer of strong frequency. If it weren't for his level, he wouldn't have noticed the power of the male master's skill. It turned out that the male master's unlimited twist and the probability of hitting rare objects depended on the strength of the magic around him. Before that, because the surface magic was too strong, he always hit useless objects. And the magic concentration at the bottom of Niluo was almost 100%. That's why he could hit his super rare card directly. So the male master told the female servant about his tragic experience. The female servant claimed that as long as the male master said a word, he could instantly take those people's lives. But the male master hoped to take revenge with his own strength. He felt that this matter had to be solved by himself. Wen Yan's female servant swore on the spot that she would do her best to help him. Then the male master launched the skill again and began to draw the card. After all, the magic concentration here is so strong that it is a pity not to use it. Unfortunately, the male master was abandoned by his teammates at the bottom of the abyss. But he drew an anti-heaven army here. After 3 years of drawing cards, he directly built his own kingdom at the bottom of the abyss. The 500 level elf female servant is just a standard and only belongs to the male master's battle team. He is also a full-fledged servant of the Chingi Sei. He is invincible in all fields. Even the master of the male master's battle, Jack, has a level of more than 7,000. At first, the male master was just a rookie, but after 2.5 years of continuous training, his strength has changed a lot. Now, with the strength of the male master, he can be his opponent's right hand in the Nailuo maze. If he is on the ground, he is almost invincible. I'm afraid that he can beat those only a few hundred enemies in one punch. During the male master's special training, his elite subordinates are maintaining the whole city's operation order. Although the natural white-haired knight is invincible, he is arranged to patrol the capital. Along with the elite cat girl Qingshe, he is responsible for investigating the surrounding forests of Nailuo. He is also responsible for the location of the male master's order meeting. His job is to train beasts. Now, the demons in the surrounding forests have become free warriors. There are also magicians who are also in charge. He is working hard to develop new magic and has made a huge contribution to the development of Nailuo. Although these subordinates have millions of characters, they have a common belief that they are absolutely loyal to the master. Now, after 3 years, the male master feels that the time has come, so he decides to start the revenge plan. But when he was about to take 3 full-fledged followers with him, a hell dog suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Although the male master has become stronger now, but he saw that he almost ate his own hell dog at that time, he still couldn't help but tremble. The followers switched to combat mode in an instant. The momentum emitted from the 3 people immediately made this level of hell dog not let his subordinates kill him. He is very clear that once he is allowed to do it, the species of hell dog will be completely extinct. Then, the male master told the followers about the revenge plan, and his first goal was to beat himself to death. At this moment, the werewolf didn't know that he was dead. He still walked on the street in the wind, enjoying the chase of the dog-head man. Because he has the hope of becoming the next werewolf leader, the younger generation in the clan are all fighting to be his younger brother. But now he knows better than anyone else that he can have such a position. It's all because of the secret mission 3 years ago. At that time, the 8 races of the 8 races gathered together. The funny thing is that the country ordered the 8 strongest races to hunt down the youngest human boy who is the weakest race. The reason is very absurd. That is, the male master has become the master's predecessor. But in the end, they found that he was just a seemingly indifferent character. Just when the werewolves were proud of themselves, May, the male master's subordinate, suddenly wrote that he claimed to be the male master's loyal servant. He hoped that the werewolves could be his guides to help him find the missing male master. These words shocked the werewolves. It is reasonable to say that what happened to the male master was a national secret. How did this servant know? The problem is that the other party has given too much revenge. Not to mention that May in front of her is still in a critical condition. When she thought that she could hide her face, the werewolves could no longer hold back their excitement. When the werewolves gathered, they immediately went to the most dangerous maze. The beast people are born with a keen insight. The monsters on the way can avoid it in advance. So in less than 2.5 hours, they successfully arrived at the place where the male master was framed. But it's too late to ask questions at this moment. The next second, the female servant was in a state of shock. The werewolves even thought that they were going to die. At this moment, a familiar voice suddenly stopped the female servant. The werewolves laughed and said, "Don't rob my prey." The werewolves were actually the male master who was bullied by the werewolves 3 years ago. Although the werewolves were a little shocked when they heard that the male master said that he was the master of revenge, they relaxed. After all, how could a level 15 human trash be his opponent? Besides, his subordinates are all masters above level 130. What kind of trouble can a male master and a woman cause? So the werewolves didn't say a word to let the little brothers go to catch the male master. But who expected that after a blink of an eye, the 2 little brothers' heads fell to the ground? Seeing this, the subordinates were all panicked. Only the werewolves were still lying to themselves. In his opinion, the female servant was just on the side of a sneak attack. Next, as long as they were cautious, the humans were not even afraid. But the fact is not what he thought. Facing the attack of everyone, the male master just leaned on his body and let them fall to their heads. This time, the werewolves were completely enraged. He will never allow humans to ride on his head. Then he took out a golden ball and fell hard on the ground, summoning a 500-level demon wolf. This is his ultimate trump card. Although this level of summoning is as powerful as in the eyes of others, in the eyes of the male master, it is just a useless garbage. For him, 500 levels is too weak. Even if he stands still, this level of attack will not hurt him. The werewolves were not polite after hearing this. When the order was given, the demon wolf killed the male master with a beast gun. But after the attack, the male master only got a little dust on his feet. He was wearing a full set of magic weapons. This kind of attack couldn't break the defense at all. This time, the werewolves were completely dumbfounded. The male master looked at the demon wolf's weapon with mockery. "You pet dog also dared to call the demon wolf Fenrir. Let me show you what is real." C-type level 13. Ultra rare card. New type. C-type Fenrir. C-type Fenrir. Please kill him. The werewolves on the scene were scared out of their wits. In order to let the werewolves die clearly, the male master did not disguise and directly showed his level of 99999. But in the werewolves' cognition, the human level is no more than 100. The male master in front of them is not a human at all. Besides, 3 years ago, the male master still looked like a child. So he thought, this must be a fake. But what he didn't know is that in order to warn himself not to forget the hatred of that year, the male master deliberately stopped the growth of his body with an old bracelet. Seeing that he could not defeat the male master anyway, the werewolves kneeled down and begged for mercy. He also explained that this is the order of the national high level. At that time, he had no choice but to kill you. This caught the male master's curiosity. The reason why he grew up in the abyss for 3 years was to deal with the high levels behind these people. So he asked the werewolves about the truth of the master and why he found out that he was not the master and wanted to kill him. But the werewolves did not know this question. It means that they just don't know the purpose of taking money and doing things at a high level. His subordinates raised their hands and claimed to know the answer. But in the next second, these people were torn into pieces by the witch. It turned out that his judgment could see through any lies. The werewolves were so scared that they were out of their minds. Fortunately, what he said just now was the truth. After killing Jingho, the male master asked the werewolves the last question. Do we have the ability to avenge the country on the ground now? The werewolves, who were scared to pee, dared not lie. There was no chance of winning in a one-on-one answer. Even if you and the witch are in the wall, there are only 2 people. It is not worth mentioning compared to the resources accumulated by all countries for a long time. This answer was unexpected by the male master. He knew that he could not fight against the country, but he did not stay by his side for 3 years. After saying that, he activated the transfer magic. After the white light flashed, the werewolves found themselves in a strange space. He saw the male master walking up the stairs step by step. He sat on the throne that belonged to him. The servants below tried to show his level. The 4-digit level that covered the sky and the ground instantly broke the psychological defense of the werewolves. Only then did he understand that as long as the male master in front of him wanted to do it, there was nothing in this world that he could not destroy. Maybe this guy is the legendary master of destruction. God, what do you think of God? God, that's not bad either. The hidden truth, is that right? Is it a distorted evil? That alone makes me a good person. It can also be a bad person. This gift, is it a gift of grace and favor? Is it a curse of death and despair? Which one should I give? I'll ask the world. Yes, let's start the invasion of the earth from now on, from darkness to light. The man didn't expect it at all. When he finally returned to the ground with the full-level servants, the scene in front of him made him like a thunderbolt. His hometown had been completely destroyed. Just because he was suspected to be the master at that time, his family was about to be wiped out. But now, even if he has the power to destroy the country, he can no longer regain his life. The only good news is he didn't find his brother and sister's body. This made his determination to take revenge more firm. The male master is very clear that he is not rational to suddenly declare war to the state. So the first thing he has to do is to hide his identity and collect information, especially to control the military. For this, he only brought 2 5,000 level servants. He was going to take the lowest level of adventurers step by step. So he decided to go to the nearby town. But not long after he set off, he met a group of short-sighted people robbing 2 people. Before the male master took the initiative, the 2 servants quickly tied up the short-sighted people. Among the 2 rescued, the man is the boss of the inn. He was grateful to invite the male master and a group of people to take the carriage. Soon, they arrived in the town. This town is attracted by a high-profile maze and a large number of adventurers. But here, the human race is still a disadvantaged group of discrimination. The male master didn't care much and registered as an F-level adventurer in the Adventurer Association first. Then he registered as a temporary adventurer on the top floor of the inn. In the 3 years in the abyss, he had already achieved wealth and freedom. This cost more than 1 body. After entering the room, the male master released the effect magic, magic interference barrier, and investigation tree respectively. After confirming that there is no monitoring device in the room, he can rest in peace. But the white-haired assassin who followed him did not understand why the master had to do it himself. You only need to give an order. We are willing to go through fire and water to complete everything. As soon as the words fell, the male master immediately lowered his face, asked him, "Do you want to deprive me of the right to revenge?" The white-haired assassin knew that he was talking nonsense. He didn't dare to ask any more before he died. The next day, the three male masters came to the entrance of the abyss. A large group of adventurers had already lined up here. There were 13 people in caps, but they didn't hesitate to line up. The human team behind them was so angry that they didn't dare to move. In case the other party is the dragon race, they couldn't afford it at all. The male master didn't get used to this atmosphere and stood up in public. "It's really shameful to line up." The yellow hair in the cap was angry. "I wanted to do it, but I was stopped by the people behind me. I have to be low profile and low key. In the end, I can only believe it." Just now, the human team and the alliance thanked the male master. They saw that the male master did not bring equipment for the night, so they reminded him that the level of this maze is much wider than other mazes. It's better to be prepared for the night in the abyss. They didn't know that Sutong had long been the former leader of the male master. The male master and a group of people entered the maze successfully. The scenery here is completely different from the ground. Various demons are seen everywhere. Their goal this time is to get the qualification to enter the third level. In order to save time, the male master directly took out 3 SSR level skill cards. 1,000 miles away, you can quickly locate the entrance to the lower level. You can avoid demonism by concealing your breath. In addition to flying skills, the original Dangerous Maze adventure has become a sightseeing trip in their eyes. At the same time, the group of demons who had just entered the maze are venting their emotions against the demons, especially the yellow hair inside. He used to be the youngest celestial knight in the demon kingdoms. Now, he is being taught by a human dog. He is very depressed. The reason why he can't get out of the maze is because his level has reached the upper limit of 1500. This time, he came to the maze to get materials to make materials to break the upper limit of the level from the third level giants. So he doesn't want to trouble others. But they didn't know that the male master had already brought the third level giants to the third level. After getting the proof of entering the third level, the 3 male masters were ready to leave the maze. When they passed the first level, they happened to see that the human team was fighting with Goblin. 3 teenagers rushed forward. A magical girl was behind them. This formation should be very useful against Goblin. They quickly solved the problem in front of them. But they didn't notice the danger behind them. A poisonous snake was quietly forcing the magical girl in. Fortunately, the male master killed the poisonous snake in time. Otherwise, she would have been bitten. But when they reported to the male master, a group of devils suddenly rushed out of the maze. Looking at the number of devils, the 4 teams were panicked. They knew they were no match for them. The male master said that the devil's target was not us. They were just scared by other monsters. As the male master said, the devil didn't attack them and ran to somewhere else. But the next second, a more terrifying devil rushed out behind them. The air was frozen. The male master didn't expect that, although he had the terrifying power of 99999 levels, he could only pretend to be the weakest F-level adventurer ratio. The 500-level elite devil that could be killed at hand was going to be disguised as a man-eating devil. But they didn't know that it was also very shocking for the other human races. Because the human race's level limit is 100, it is enough to call it a legend to fight with a 500-level devil. As the elite monster suddenly appeared, the first one to attack was the 5,000-level Golden Shield Swordman. After a few moves with the devil, in order to avoid killing a person, the male master also started to use the lowest level of fire-eating devil on the edge. However, the devil was not saved. He used the money to take the fire-eating devil back. But only those who know the industry know how deep the door is. The little magician was excited that he was an F-level adventurer. His companions had no choice but to help him. The top priority was to find a way to support the male master. At this time, Galdor saw the opportunity to mature and decided to show some of his real strength. He taught a few young people how to use the sword and shield. The shield can not only defend, but also be an attack weapon as long as it has the golden time to strike. The male master continued to use the fire-eating devil, but this time, the fire-eating devil was under the control of the male master. The elite monster could not help but reevaluate the situation. At the same time, dozens of fire-eating devils were under the attack. Both pliers of the devil were cut off. The fire-eating devil found the enemy and ran away immediately. It's a pity that the male master can still use the fire-eating devil. It seems that the fire-eating devil wants to run away from the sky. At the trial of the male master, the evil witch finally made a move, but instantly killed the elite monster. The 4 children were shocked. I don't know who the 3 male masters are, but fortunately, the fire-eating devil was not destroyed. This does not affect their promotion. The little brother finally asked a question in his heart. Are they all super famous adventurers, B-level or S-level, but did not let the male master say that they are F-level? The meeting is fated. That night, the two sides were resting in the camp nearby. Speaking of the magic used by the male master just now, the little magician Mia was excited. It is classified into 3 levels based on magic. The magic of single body attack belongs to the combat level. The strategy level, that can cause a large-scale impact like the firewall, can finally affect the world's strategic magic. For example, the meteor shower or earthquake magic must be used by a large number of magicians. Although it is very common to other good magic artists, the human race has never had an ancestor. Therefore, the legend of Wu Yuncheng, the male master just now, is simply the legend of the top 5 ancient people in the human race. The old brother told Mia not to talk nonsense. After all, he got the recommendation of the Gongo Magic School. He will definitely be able to use tactical magic in the future. The so-called Gongo is a common country of the 9 tribes. Getting the recommendation shows that Mia is very talented. The old brother had no choice but to die because of his parents' illness. He will be an adventurer with his childhood classmate to make money. Just for the sake of his sister's future, he looked at his brother and sister in front of him. The male master unconsciously thought of his sister. He couldn't help but encourage them to achieve their goals. Because Mia is really talented. Everyone is curious about why the 3 male masters became adventurers. The male master said half true and half false. His parents died in a fire disaster. Now he is looking for the key to the wound. But at the same time, the 2 elves are not at ease. In order to help the white-skinned elf break through the level of level 1-5, they have collected all the research materials. The only thing left is the core human race. And the male master, with his recent fiery performance, became the strongest newbie of the guild. And he got the nickname of the Black Clown among the human race adventurers. So the other human races came forward to give him encouragement. Just because the other half hoped that the 3 male masters could prove that the human race could be stronger than the other elves. However, the elves around him were all confused. They thought that they could defeat the elites and wolves. It's a lie that they could use tactics and magic without music. The male master was too lazy to argue with the other half. Next, he decided to go to the 5th level of the secret palace. But he met 4 young people again. Just in time, Mia also wanted to find a chance to thank the male master. So she made the ancestral sugar cake herself. Maybe it can make the male master's scar better. The kind male master was very happy about this, so he gave her a red rope as a gift, and the male master's work must be exquisite. Just because the red rope is actually a F-32 prop, it can make a small miracle with a strong wish. If it works, it's the best. If it doesn't work, it's the best. The 3 of them just arrived at the 5th level. The task of defeating the monsters was given to Shen Xia. The male master took the opportunity to send it back to his hometown alone. As for his revenge plan, he was just a little bit short of preparing for it. He couldn't wait to see the desperate expression under the sand. I'm afraid you don't remember. It's the female elf that he hated the most in that movie. The older brother, who encouraged the male master on the other side, just left for a while and let the water go. When he came back, he saw that all his companions had been killed by the elf. The man knew that he was no match for him. He immediately released the smoke bomb to escape. It's a pity that the male elf has flying abilities. In the end, he was still caught by 2 elves. The black-skinned elf said that it was far from enough. They have to capture more people to stop the research material. The value of the garbage is borne by the use of the research material. We will tell you why the garbage exists. The male master didn't expect it at all. In order to take revenge, he trained until level 9999 to get out of the underground palace. As a result, the self-proclaimed brave pervert elf was only level 1500. Even a soldier under him can't beat him. On this day, the male master defeated the elite leader and came back to ask for a level up. But the lady can only help him level up twice. If you want to continue upgrading, you have to make a big contribution at least. Just in time, the guild received the news that there was a mysterious adventurer killer in the underground palace recently. It was found that the other party was only hunting for the human race. As a human race, the male master could not sit idly by. Who knew that at the next moment, Maya suddenly transferred to the male master's room? The wish necklace that the male master had sent out had lost its effect. After treating Mia's injury, the male master checked her memory. It turned out that not long ago, the 4 of Mia were found by other adventurers. There was an adventurer killer in the underground palace, and the other party picked a human to kill. The 4 of them set out immediately for safety reasons and planned to leave. In the middle of the night, they encountered the killer. However, they didn't know that they were trying to warn the adventurer killer. They told the adventurer killer the truth, but in the end, they were laughed at by the other party. The human race is really stupid and doesn't check the color of the eyes. Seeing Jin Mao pull out the sword directly, the 4 of them finally realized that they were the adventurer killer. The 3 boys are real men. Let Mia run away quickly. They will help fight for time. It's a pity that in the face of a huge gap in strength, Jin Mao defeated them without any effort. His companions shouted to let Mia run away quickly and rushed up to fight again. But it also angered Jin Mao and killed him. Bai Mao had no choice but to need a living person for the experiment. Jin Mao didn't care. Anyway, there was another horse. As a result, Jin Mao was still a desperate man. Before taking it to do the experiment, he wanted to defile Mia. He said that he was the pride and glory of the Jinling men and women. At this time, the elder brother strongly got up again. He didn't forget to let his sister run away quickly. Bai Mao was excited and thought that his brother was a very good material, so he had to catch him alive. The elder brother knew that he would die, but at least he had to let his sister live. The brother and sister had a common heart. Even if he didn't say anything, Mia could understand his brother's meaning. He could only turn around in pain and run away alone. Seeing Jin Mao was going to chase Mia, the elder brother stopped him in front of him. In the end, he kept nagging. The elder brother taught them combat skills before. Jin Mao was beaten hard. The elder brother laughed very hard. The other party was angry and couldn't take care of the table. When he saw the light, he put his brother on the ground. Seeing Jin Mao was going to continue to make up for it, Bai Mao and his allies stopped him. The most important thing was to catch the escape experiment as soon as possible. Once their behavior was exposed, it was over. Soon, Mia was sealed by Jin Mao's sword light. The other party didn't forget to brag. The weapon in his hand was the legendary Phantom Sword. It's the national treasure of Jinling. Mia didn't want to give up. She used the weapon to fight for time. But on the way to escape, she was still beaten by Jin Mao. Jin Mao bragged that he was the hero and heroine of the future. He didn't hurry to give up. Mia rejected the so-called hero or heroine. It's a strong and gentle existence, and he would only bully the weak. When Jin Mao's words were heard, he was despised by the people. The people also looked down on him. He would only be angry and afraid. He would only be malicious to the leader. But he was still expelled by the White Knight group. Mia mocked him. He was just a despicable son of a whore. The leader knew the consequences of the previous cause and anger. He was furious. He immediately took 2 people with him. But Jin Mao could only return empty-handed. He knew that the experimental body had escaped. He made Jin Mao panic. Once their behavior was known by the guild, it wouldn't be long before it would be passed on to Jinling Kingdom. At that time, Jin Mao stole the national treasure. The matter would also be exposed. The White Knight group would be dispatched to arrest. I heard that Jin Mao's rank was more than 3,000. The members were at least 2,000 or more. And everyone was equipped with a national treasure-level weapon. Jin Mao fell to the ground like a giant eagle. The White Knight group continued to suppress as long as they could complete the research. To help him break through the level bottleneck, it didn't matter who brought it. The leader suddenly appeared. They couldn't go anywhere. It's a pity that the 2 hairpins have completely lost their breath. How long will Mia's luck last? The White Knight group sensed the power of the leader. He tried to quibble that the person who gave him the first aid was himself. But he didn't know that Mia had been rescued by the leader. When he learned that the leader hadn't reported to the guild, Jin Mao burst into a rage. The leader didn't believe in any tricks. He was embarrassed to call himself a hero warrior. He was Peyo Shi. He was equipped with a few swords. The leader said that they were all his prey, and he would let them experience the pain of far exceeding 4 people. Jin Mao was self-absorbed. He couldn't stand the look of the leader's eyes. He wanted to kill him after he was alive. Finally, he stabbed him in the face. Shoba kept swinging his sword at the leader, but he didn't let the leader raise his hand, so he took the lead easily. The leader was disappointed and sighed. He turned his back and shot Jin Mao. He mocked the strength of this hero warrior. Jin Mao was so angry that he activated the ability of the sword. He created countless swords to shoot at the leader, and each sword was equipped with a different attribute. Although the battle was spectacular, it was nothing to the leader. The white-haired elf was unbelievable. The leader could even catch Jin Mao's sudden attack. He didn't believe that there was really a group of people. He could make a mistake with a national treasure elf. Jin Mao was as weak as a weakling. He scolded the leader. He was a warrior, but he pretended to be a mage. The leader said he was a mage, but Jin Mao didn't believe it. How could a mage fight with him? The leader released the full sword to prove his identity, and he controlled the sword to accurately strike Jin Mao's countless swords. The magic power that surpasses the magicians of the Elf City. Jin Mao didn't teach martial arts. He tried to attack the leader's body, but the leader controlled the sword to spin at high speed. It became a secret shield. Jin Mao's mentality collapsed. He thought it was impossible. He is the future hero and warrior. How could he beat the trash people, liars, and little devils? He is the leader who has a past. He was given a holy sword by God. The leader was surprised. What did he mean by the leader? Jin Mao didn't pretend. He inherited the bloodline of the leader. He was a great leader.